Hi everyone, good afternoon. I will welcome you all for the webinar on climate smart solution for on-farm operations, especially battery operated multipurpose toolbar. By using this mechanization as a catalyst for livelihood improvement and also a climate resilience. So the table of contents, what we are going through the webinar is we will be having an introduction and context setting, an overview of practice and problem statement where agriculture on-farm operations are facing. And we will be having a success story from champion entrepreneur Mr. Sridhar V. Reddy and ecosystem essential for the business inputs and market best practices and technology overview offering from the vendor Venkatrao from Agro Private Limited, and also access credit, government scheme and rural bank financing. So by Supriya, and then at the end we can open for question and answers. You can put the questions in the chat box whenever you got any question, and there will be a closing remarks. So, 80 in Indian context, 80%, 86% of small and marginal farmers are there, but mechanization machines available are not suitable for their farms. Compact mechanization systems are not efficient for their Indian small and medium farmers, and over 60% of the crop care operations in horticulture and non-cereal systems are majorly done by manual labor itself, like spraying, weeding, and other intercultural operations, which cannot be done by the large scale machinery. So, in Indian mechanization, there is a challenge of no longer we need a high HP machineries, but we need a right size machineries for the right farms. So farming depends agile low cost mechanization, not on the high horsepower. So here comes where the role of multipurpose toolbar, which emerge as a practical solution for repetitive intercultural operation, like might be two seasons the farmers required land preparation, spraying. So these operation can be used, and Indian farms are already fragmented. So small scale machineries can be benefited for those things. Uh, so in what these machines can be feasible. So in the crop stage, plowing, harrowing, leveling of the field, sowing of the crops, weeding, irrigation, crop protection, fertilizer application, harvesting, and also it can be used as the post harvest thing also operations. So currently in Indian scenario, problem statements are like low utilization and weak financial viability. So currently the finance is conventional agriculture machineries operates only at the 50% utilization, where CHCs and FPOs achieve only less than 700 operating hours, reducing economic viability of those machines and high labor dependency and rising cost. Because of those machines cannot work on the field, so labor availability is very difficult, and the cost of labor are increasing annually. And poor suitability of existing mechanization, heavy tractor cannot be used for the operations which are interculturally done. So 5 to 10% crop damage if they use those big machineries in the field. Fragmented equipment and limited flexibility depends on multiple single purpose implements, increases capital investment by 2 to 3x, which limited greater than 12 HP compatible tools restrict smallholder adoption. So high labor dependency, suitability of existing mechanization, and weak financial viability are the major problem statement exist in Indian scenario. So we have come up with a market research where different kinds of vendors we have identified, and currently we will go with one vendor details today, which is Agro Private Limited, is based from Hyderabad, Telangana, Karnataka, Telangana. So it is a easeable toolbar which comes with 1.8 kilowatt BLDC motor with 5 kilowatt lithium ion battery, which depends on the operation. It comes from 4 to 15 hours runtime. Depends on the which attachments we are using, with a 20 kilometer per hour top speed with the hydraulic lift system. So attachments, multiple attachments are compatible: rotavator, cultivator, seed drill, sprayer, flare mower, reaper, earth auger, trolley. and wood chipper, trencher, and more than 70 plus attachments are compatible with these machine. And crop suitability will be vegetable, cotton, chili, corn, groundnut, fruit orchard, horticulture crops like arecanut, coconut, palm oil, and row crops which are done in a row format. It can be used in those fields. And key operations, it will do weeding, spraying, mulching, tillage, seeding, harvesting, transporting, earthing up, etc. And it can be also, the battery can be used as a juice extractor, sugarcane juice extractor, and multiple uses are there from this machine. So here are some videos. You can see how the battery is connected to a earth auger and it can be cleaned the thing. So here is a mulcher. So the field cannot, it doesn't dig the field, it will remove slash the weeds on the field. The spraying, it doesn't damage the crops and it will do the spraying of more number of fields than the manual spraying. And it can carry the load up till this much. So, and few land preparation videos. So many more intercultural operations can be operated with this device. So like HTP sprayer can be attached, rotavator can be attached, trolley tub can be attached for carrying of the instruments, earth auger for doing the holes for the new planting can be done, flare mower to cut the slash the weeds on the floor, and seed drill, so where the farmers like a maize farmer can sow the line sowing, and DC sprayer and dozer to level the lands. So multiple operations can be done with the same equipment. And here mentioned like HTP sprayer can how many operation, the detail will be given by the vendor. So yeah. So now I request Sridhar Reddy sir, who is a palm oil horticulture crop. So I need to Sridhar sir, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, yes.
So can you give a bit overview of yourself, sir?
Hey, my name is Sridhar Reddy. I am from Telangana and Nagarkarnal district and Bekkira village. I am doing the farming for 16 acres land. But while doing the farming, I got so many problems, bit of labor problem and land preparation, something tractor problem also. If you have, my village is small village actually. That is the reason they are not coming to the on time. I searched for the so many toolbars. I used the power weeder and a small tractor also. But yeah, I saw that is more costly actually. Costly operation also very high cost. That is the reason I searched in YouTube. When I saw this video, GGBoo video, I searched so many times and I went to the field and I saw this vehicle, EasyBoo vehicle. I liked it. Actually, I purchased it in last. See, I'm using this vehicle in from last 6 years, 5 years. I'm using the in oil farm. Oil farm, they are this agriculture persons came and no need to dig in deep plowing. That is the reason I purchased this vehicle. I'm using the mulcher and earth auger and cultivator. spraying. In intercrop also in oil farm in like 1 acres are there in my oil farm in my field. I'm using the spraying purpose and in intercultivation I'm using the groundnut. I'm using this vehicle for spraying and in carrying the trolley. Some fertilizers are there, right? That fertilizers to from shop to my cultivation land. Everything I'm using. It is very low cost if you compare to labors. If you labor will not come on time. With one vehicle, it is there in our hand. It cost will be low, and we will do on time the work. Agriculture main important is if you do work in on time, then only crop will come on time and crop will not damage. That is the main reason I'm using this vehicle. I am very satisfied for this vehicle.
Thank you, sir. So can you explain with one operation how much labor saving you are doing with, like how much cost you are investing on weeding in your farm itself, and how much benefit you are doing it now?
For example, for spraying in my side is they are taking the per hour, per acre, 500 rupees are taking. But it is zero. Only one time we need to purchase one sprayer. Automatically, it is zero cost. Here, Telangana government also giving 200 units of free current. If you do the charging in my home, I coming to the field and I spraying. That is zero. Something 10 acres means 10 acres we are cultivating the groundnut. Spraying will be 5,000, but it will come to the I am also spraying the my own I am not putting any labor. I am only spraying the in field, but 5,000 cost is coming to the zero.
Okay, sir.
Same thing in same thing happen in the after harvesting also. If you labor also come in trolley is there, trolley 10 or 15 labors will become some that weeding purpose or something. Labor also you need less labor, right? If you come from my village to field also they are asking why you put it in tractor or any vehicle, auto something. But in my vehicle, auto also they are taking 500 rupees from my village to my field. That is also coming to the zero. Like that we are using this vehicle and also weeding purpose in palm oil. They are not doing the deep plow. That is the reason I am using the mulching. If you put it in labor, it will take more cost. Means in 10 acres land in oil farm, it will come around in every 3 months or 4 months. 20, if you put it in labor, 5,000, 25,000 it will come. But in this toolbar, I am using daily using. That is the reason it will coming to zero.
Thank you, sir. And how much easy to drive this, sir? Like, is it very easy
If
for
lady,
driving it, and how
usually
can?
ladies have no experience to any vehicle experience. Ladies also you can operate this vehicle.
That's so nice, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So be on the call, sir. So if any questions from our participants, if they ask you, you can answer, sir, at the end.
Sure, sure,
Thank you,
sure,
sir. Thank you
sure.
so much for your information.
Thank you.
Thanks. So now I'll call up the vendor, Agromectech, Venkat Rao, sir. Sir, please unmute and have a brief on the machine part, sir.
Thank you, Rohit, and thank you, Sridhar also, who has been our one of the prime customers since long. So after a long time, I'm seeing him on video. So thank you very much, and thank you for giving this opportunity. I think a lot of names I'm able to see, Supriya and all that. I think long back we spoke. Okay, coming to the presentation, this my name is Venkatrao. I think for the people who are newly in the attendees, I'm Venkatrao. I served Indian Navy for 15 years, and later 15 years I worked for the defense-based projects through various corporates, and I developed more than 55 plus products for aerospace and marine and other requirements. And after that, after finishing 30 years in the similar line, got bored and shifted to the development of this agri tools, inspired by my father. I think I keep telling that story that why we entered in that, but I'll not get into that now. But this is basically, see, Indian agriculture farming doesn't require more than the 5 HP power because all are the small farm holders. If two bullocks used to do multiple works in agriculture fields earlier, one bullock is 0.75 HP theoretically, and two bullocks put together is on 1.5 HP. And if you go and see the technical studies of ICR, anything you take up, and they say that one pair of bullocks are sufficient to do 2 hectares of land, means almost 5 acres. So, but which used to be used for, pumping out the water, logistics, preparation of the soil, and, taking the labor from village to there and come back. This was the contest. But suddenly there is a change in that entire atmosphere. Now 40 HP, 50 HP started, means more energy we started pumping in, where the cost of energy started getting up in this. So, and you are forced to use one tool for each application. Tractor is for plowing, and you need something, a drone for spraying, and you need something else for, auto rickshaw for transporting the labor, and you required for pumping. Each activity has shifted to different machines, which is unknowingly a lot of cost and farmer has gone up. And because of his dependency on various equipment, now he is forced to use, because of his dependency, he is unable to do the timely operations, which is affecting his productivity. So if the machine which can do multitasking, which is there in his hand, that is like, bullocks, how they used to do, that will be more than, means that is going to increase the productivity, and converting into the electric, that will reduce the cost of operation, and making it usable, user-friendly, will make anybody to use it. That was a concept behind developing this entire product. So based on that, these are the products, means this is what I've taken it from my father, who has given me, this was his project paper in 1960s when he was doing his agriculture BSc. So it is the shape given to this. So this is almost all India's first battery operated ride-on self-propelled toolbar. There are ride-on self-propelled toolbar, only 3 are there in India as of now. One is petrol-based, that is Swaraj Code has done it, and similar time. And there is another diesel-based ride-on self-propelled toolbar is there, which is from Gujarat, which is approved. And the third one approved is the electrically approved is one. That is ours. So this is India's first ride-on self-propelled toolbar, battery operated. And this can do 70 plus of works. So you can see this is certified by FMTTI, which gives the eligibility to take, loans or get into any government schemes, and some sort of a validation has been done and certified by the government of India. And as of now, we developed almost 22 attachments, and when we listed out, it can do 70 plus works. Basic fundamentally, here we are using, it is like a moving power pack, a battery pack, which is there. So it becomes a mobile power pack, which I'll explain in the later stages. This is the actual vehicle. In this, there are two motors used. One motor, which is there on the vehicle, which is used for the hauling, the transportation, etc. But we have reduced the speed to the 20 kilometers because you cannot go more than that. In the agriculture fields, more than the power, what you require is the torque. So the torque generated by this is almost 24 Newton meters, the peak torque which it generates on its motor. When it converts to the axle and when it goes to the tire, it is almost 1,000 to 240 Newton meter. What is the torque which it generates on its wheel? So it's very, very highly, powerful. It becomes very high powerful. I should not have a high torque it can generate. We are using instead of using a regular PTOs as it is used in the regular tractor, here we are using the PTO, but it is called wired PTO. It's not wired, it is a wired PTO. We are taking the power through motors, so through cables, and we are localizing the operation through motor. So that is reducing the mechanical losses, because of which your battery utilization and everything goes up. If you're going through the mechanical, the losses will be almost 15 to 20%. But in this cable, when you're using a wired motor directly, the losses will be hardly 4 to 5%. So keeping that in mind, so all the auxiliary equipment we are trying to drive to wherever it is required. We are using this motor, alternative motor, to do this one. Other dimensions and all are this kind of a thing, and it comes with a 5 kWh battery pack. If somebody wanted to use additional, in the rear side tub, they can keep additional spare batteries and they can work whole day 24/7. They can work by procuring additional this one. So that is how the entire vehicle has been structured and designed. So it becomes a moving power pack, that 5 kW of moving power pack. Recently, we added an inverter where through SELCO only we have given it to some of the farmers in the bamboo cutting tool and all there, where we are using readily available brush cutters, pruners, and whatnot. There are some N number of saw cutters. There are N number of equipment which work on 230 volts, lawn movers, those kind of a thing. But the problem is that you will not be able to get a 230 volts in your field. And localized small battery equipment problem is that the batteries are very small and they keep failing. The charging over, timing, these are all the problem. So this vehicle solves even that problem. So all the 230 volts AC equipment, they are easily available in the market and easily repairable by local workshops, like mixing mechanic will be able to repair those kind of motors. So by adding that small 3 kVA inverter on this, now people are using it for the sugarcane juice extraction. Some people wanted to use it for the small portable rice mill. Now people are using it for pumping water. Some people are using it for, so the multiple tasks are being done. And especially in the horticulture, it reduced drastic labor. Pruning you can do with this. Around the plant maintenance you can do with this. So many activities we will be able to do using this particular machine. So we'll go to the next slide. Can we go to the next slide? Oh, okay, sorry. These are basically we have displayed this, but there are N number of, these are promptly, prominently people are buying. HTP sprayer is one thing. And which, orchards with more than 15 feet and up to 20-25 feet, these HTP sprayers are more oftenly purchased by the farmers. This is a small 2.5 feet power weeder, basically vegetable farmers, leafy vegetable farmers. Those are the people basically who are using it. And this is a trolley normally used, not only for the movement, but, especially now we are upgrading this trolley. If somebody is asking to automatic manure dispenser also, especially for the horticulture people, where when they push a button, the manure dumped in this trolley can be put to the plant base. So that also reduces. So that is up in another 15-20 days, we are coming up with that also. And so in a regular time, you can use it for hauling the loads and other things. And when you can use the same trolley in the field also for dispensing the manure individually without depending on much of a labor. And another is earth-auger. This is another thing, what a lot of potholes making is one of the costly as per, for making one pothole, it is as per government rate is 40 rupees per pothole. So now the pothole cost has been brought down drastically to as low as, in one charge, 5 units of current, you can do 600 potholes almost all, varying from, 600, some people have gone to 800 also depending on soil. But okay, average, and at an average, if it is a too tough soil, it may be 400, but average 600 potholes you can make. So once you make a 600 potholes in just 5 units of current, the cost of, and you doesn't require 2 people to handle this, only single individual can do it. So the pothole cost from 40 rupees, it has come down to hardly 40 paise to 75 paise or something like that. And the another beautiful thing is this fly mover. You can see this. Now we have developed, this is the 2-feet fly mower. Now we worked out 3 feet based on the farmer's demand, especially in the palm oil and mango plantation people. And we have come up with now 2 feet, 3 feet. We are working on the 4 feet also and 5 feet also. So because in the large format, they wanted to do it quickly. Now the people got the confidence and they wanted more and more from us. So we started improving that. So the mulcher is something, we all know the soil is degrading in India or across the world because of the heavy tillage. Unnecessarily, even for the weeding purpose, people are doing the tillage. If we have to reduce the tillage, that is the biggest enemy for the soil than the use of a chemical. That is what a lot of papers say. So the mulcher, what it does, it leaves almost 1 inch above and cuts the weed. So this leaves the root. Health goes up, and the roots which are left controls the soil, means it stops the soil erosion, and at the same time weed is also controlled. So this is one of the beautiful fly mover Using a brush cutter also you can do that, but in the brush cutter, one is that the long lengths are there, and when somebody puts on a shoulder and does it, one is a petrol operated or whatever it may be, that gives a lot of pain and physical stress to the farmer. But in this case, you can just connect it like, on behind your vehicle and just keep going around as you're going in a buggy. So that reduces your stress also, and cost of operation is also low. We have recorded somewhere around, highly dense 2 hours to 6 hours is the usability of this machine with 5 units of battery. I know recently in the Maharashtra, someone has used to cut 8 acres of the soil. All the farm residue has been mulched using this mulcher. And another beautiful tool is the seeder. The seedle, you must be knowing, the push seeders are there nowadays. People, walk behind using the seeders and all that. So in this case, we have built some, just you can take those and just attach to this frame. And it's a lot of people tried, at the same time they wanted to do two push seeders, and it becomes very physically challenging for the farmers to push 2 or 3 seeders at one go. So this simple machine can handle almost, we have tried 5 seed row weeder, seeder is also there, 4 is also there. So with one seeder, 5 row seeder, we have completed in a dry seeding 17.5 acres in one charge. Means the cost of seeding has been brought down to 150 rupees per acre, which is very, 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 very low, almost all negligible. Okay, it's less than a cool drink cost, almost all, for what you give it to the labor when they come for the seeding. So that is how the cost of seeding has been brought down in this. And there's another small spray. If somebody don't want to buy a HTP, they don't want, and especially in the vegetables or crops below 5 acre, 3 feet, 5 feet orchards kind of a thing, where you don't require a heavy pressure and all that. This comes very cheap, 2,000 to 3,000 rupees. You can have this one, and with this, they can use it for the spraying purposes. And this particular sprayer almost will work for more than 17, 18 hours in one charge. And this HTP charger that works almost 8 to 10 hours. And this particular dozer, this is basically, you cannot use it for the heavy land dosing, but there is a lot of problem, like, when you wanted to maintain some sort of a plant maintenance, or if they wanted to clean up your cattle yard and all that. Again, that is another problem where this dozer works wonderfully for cleaning, preparing, and some people are using it for, crop residue, pushing the crop residue from the crop. We can share those videos also. A lot of farmers, after the cotton, they cut, and then somebody is now who is not having a mulcher, they are trying to push and they don't want to do the mulch, and they wanted to use those, tur stubbles and cotton stubbles, where they are using it for, some other purposes. There they are using the same dozer for pushing entire stubble to one corner and, load into the zebu. So a lot of activities people are doing with this. So I think a lot of field rides, we cannot say as a field ride. These are almost all these videos. In fact, we were unable to play through, I think, in that. But sorry, go back. Where did I go back? Just a minute. So these are almost all the videos are shared by the farmers. Actually, these are the videos, but in the image form. So you can see we are using it for the intercultivation in sugarcane, in the other field. You can use it. You can see that we are using it. Farmers are using it for spraying. They're using it for moving the makka or whatever it is there. Even female operator, a reaper they have connected and done paddy reaping, and especially lemongrass harvesting also they have done using the same vehicle. Palm, of course, palm oil, it is getting very popular. Horticulture, it is very getting popular. In one harvest, one farmer has saved more than 18,000 rupees on labor by using it for the hauling the sweet lime from plant to the loading it to the point. And Muranga, people are using it for spraying as well as beyond our imagination sometimes. Okay, next. I think we've gone. Okay. These are also some videos actually we were supposed to play, but I don't know. This was in a multi-purpose toolbar. You can see in a 70 years old man comfortably sitting on it and working it. And we can see it. Another thing is the same easy book we have converted into for a complete harvest of bamboo, where you can use the same machine for cutting the bamboo and pulling out the bamboo from the unit is from the clump is one of the toughest tasks. Now we can use this machine for pulling out as well as for cutting the bamboo and logistic movement. If somebody wanted to, like, a biochar conversion, or where they wanted to make a chip, they can add a wood chipper and chip them into the small pieces and load into the trolley. So this is the thing. And since, so we have delivered 180 plus. This 100th rollout was in the last August, before we started our new facility. And now almost all we are at 185. It took 3.5 to 4 years for us to reach 100 mark. But in last 6 to 7 months itself, we have touched 80. Almost all going at a rate of 10 units per month. People started getting confidence in the product. Now they started believing that EVs and toolbars can be used in agriculture. So these are some of the calculations. We took it from the farmers and this one. So various tasks, depending on the task, you can how much acreage it can give, or operation it can give. Especially starting from the least it is a 2.5 hours to it goes as good as 6 to 18 hours in some small low level this one, and range of transporting 200 kgs to 110 kilometers or something like that. And with the load of 500 kgs, it travels around 700 kilometers on a flat road. And if it is a tough terrain, like sandy kind of a thing, it gives 55 to 60 kilometers kind of a thing. So the ranges are good. And if somebody wanted to increase the range, it is very simple. They can buy an additional battery and use like a swap model, or they can keep it in a tub and extend the range of operation. So that is possible with this vehicle. So range extension is not at all a problem with this. And the operating cost is as low as 10 rupees. Average operating cost is 10 rupees per hour. If electricity bill is paid, like Sridhar Reddy is getting 200 rupees free current and he is using the same, so that 10 rupees also becomes zero. So go to the next thing. So these are the okay. This is the cost of vehicle. The yellow one is the approved machines, and rest all we have not taken the approval because we keep on going and it's very costly affair to take certification. So and it's not going to give us a much in a subsidization. As per I will tell you later, the 1.4 lakhs to 1.7 lakhs is the subsidy what you can get from the government, and that are 50%. So this approved version will almost all fulfill that. So we thought, okay, we will take later once you get financially strong and, depending on that. But these are the equipment, and there are GST is shown as 12% by mistake. It is 5% now. Based on that, the prices will, vary basically. So this is our new, you can see the green mat. That is where we started our product development R&D center. Almost 3.5 years. Still we do our R&D there only. That facility, through that facility, we delivered 110 units in last 4.5 years. But last 6 months, since October, with this, you can see our new facility. It is a 12,500 SFT, which we built for, production processing. And in last 7 months, we delivered almost 80 units through this new facility. Last SRT 10 vehicles and all those almost 70 vehicles. 70 vehicles in last 7 months we have delivered from this facility. And now this is having a capacity to push. As of now, we made 25 numbers in this facility we can handle, but the same facility can be extended to handle 300 numbers per month. That is a capacity line which can be pushed in. It is on a hired basis we have taken this facility. It is located in Hyderabad near Ramoji Phillips. So next. So what is that? I think one slide is missed. Go back. Oh, just go back. Okay. At the marketing target. Okay. This is this is what is I've been telling, all the normally FPOs and FPCs they can buy, but this is more Personally, I feel that is more useful for the small individual farmers who are holding 5 to 6 acres and who wanted to run like, one good case, Oblesh case, which was supposed to be presented here. But in that case, that fellow has earned back entire his money because he's using it and he's giving it an hiring based. So the subsidy part also has gone from 1,40,000 to it has gone up to 1,70,000. Latest correction has come. Just we are not yet sure, but they have increased it there. And direct farmer buying will be good because he can do timely operation. Again, in the hiring centers, what happens? Take the case of a pomegranate. Pomegranate needs soon after rain, immediately they have to go for a spraying. If he doesn't do the spraying of the pomegranate immediately, the entire crop goes lost because that pest attack can happen. If it is in a hired mode, he has to run for someone else and do that. But if he owns it at a lower price, that is easy for him to protect his crop. So for 5 acres, 6 acres, whatever may be the holding here. And that is a major this one. But okay, if somebody, group of farmers, 4 or 5, there are cases somewhere 3 or 4 farmers also purchased together and they are using it for 15 to 16 acres of land pooling they have done. And they are using it for that purpose also. And another good thing is that along with the subsidy, it is suitable for getting it in a AIF, Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. Some farmers, I think, we have taken it and included it in a bigger project, and they've taken on that also. And bank loan for anybody across India, any farmer who is having a good CIBIL and all what as per the bank requirements, they can straight away approach the bank to get loan up to 2 lakhs on this vehicle without mortgaging or without giving any collateral for it.
Venkat sir,
So,
just a minute.
sir,
So your voices became very low. So your voice became a
can
bit
you
low.
hear me? Can you hear me now?
And now I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay,
We heard you,
I
but
think.
it was in a low tone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I think they've gone away from the mic, it seems. Okay. This one. And, let's go to the next slide. Okay. So operating maintenance, anyhow, we will provide. It is very easy to maintain. Even if there is a problem, you can easily maintain it on a video call. We will guide farmer, and it is a very modular. Even farmer, if he knows what is the difference between screwdriver and cutting plier, and if he knows how to operate a video call, that is more than enough. If he's got a small intention to support himself, he himself can entirely replace his hydraulic system. He can entirely replace his motor within 15 to 20 minutes over our guidance, on a guidance. If they are having a major problem, we deploy. Anyhow, it is very simple to operate. I think in Mizoram also, one of the farmer who is using, who comes on a video call and resolves his problem. If the spare is required, we put them in a courier, they collect it and they use it. It is proven even at the Mizoram. Only once our team has visited. Later on, whenever there is a problem, the farmer gives a call, our people guide them on the phone, and immediately he repairs himself. So that flexibility is there with this machine. And there are small, what to do with and what we are not supposed to. Especially the problem is that when you are doing the charging, you have to keep proper connector. A connectorization has to be very proper. They should not put in a loose and all do that. There's a high current and this one that will destroy that particular connectors, etc. So there are small do's and don'ts. Normally we stick them on the vehicle also. They have to follow this. And second, 90% of the people, what they do, as I told, these all attachments come with the individual motors. So they forget to remove the motors and they go. So that is where sometimes they break the cables. Once they break, then next time they don't do that mistake. But okay, always we give them the instruction that first disconnect the motor and then disconnect the equipment. If you follow that simple technique, it becomes very simple. This kind of adjustments we need to do. We thought of automatic snap-on connectors, but the cost of snap-on connectors are going very heavy, which will be very burdened on the farmer. We are trying to get that at any one stage, but till that time, people have to bear with that one.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Regular maintenance wise also, there is no much of a maintenance in this. What they have to do is only check that gear oil in 6 to 8 months once, gearbox, hardly 100 ml, which will cost you less than 80 to 70 to 80 rupees. And hydraulic oil once in a 1.5 to 2 years, which will 2 liters, which will cost under 250. Other than that, You didn't require much of it except, cleaning and keeping it proper and checking the air. And another thing also, we recommend them not to push the air to the maximum. Keep the air to below 18 psi or something like that. So small this one, and keep oiling all the moving parts. Other than this, there's not much of a maintenance at all in this vehicle. It is as good as a zero maintenance.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sridhar.
Thank you for
Thank you.
be on the line, sir. Like we will be having
I'll
few
be there.
questions at the end, so we'll be reaching out to you at the end. So now I welcome Supriya for presenting the business model on the multipurpose toolbar.
Hello everyone, my name is Supriya and I will be discussing about the business model. So we'll first discuss the setup cost and the financing. Then we will move on to the assumption and basis, and then we'll look at business model for every attachment, major attachment that the multipurpose toolbar has. And then we look at the payback, and lastly we'll also compare the payback as per the farm size. So this is the capital cost, that is the multipurpose toolbar, which is a major, it holds for the major capex of the whole setup, that is 64%. Apart from that, these are the 5 major attachments that we have considered for the business model. Apart from this, like Venkat sir and Rohit also discussed, there are multiple attachments. It's got a plethora of attachments that can be used along with the toolbar. But these are the 5 major that we have accounted for our calculation. So the total cost is 4,18,000. And if the entrepreneur is availing a loan, say for about 80% of the capex as a loan amount, and 20% is the margin with a rate of interest of 12%, and for a tenure of 5 months, which is 5 years, which is 60 months, then the EMI would be 7,300 per. So these are some of the assumptions and the basis. So we have done the calculations for the farm size of 10 acres, but it can vary from 5 to 50 acres and beyond that. Beyond 50 acres, we will mention what is the case. And the crop would be, we have assumed as vegetable crops, umbrella term would be horticulture crops. And the seasons per year that we have considered is 2, it can be 3 even. And the rounds per acre per season, say for all these activities. For cultivation, we have considered 2, rotation is 1, spraying is 6, and mulching is 1. Apart from that, the transportation cost has also been calculated. And the electricity cost, we have considered as 6 rupees per unit. But then again, Venkat sir also has reiterated about Mr. Sridhar Reddy's case that he gets free electricity, but we have still accounted for the 6 rupees per unit cost just to show what significant savings the end user is making, even if the electricity cost is assumed. The diesel tractor hiring charges are 500 rupees per hour, and we have done a comparison between manual diesel and electric multipurpose toolbar. And for the manual labor, we have considered 500 rupees per day as the charges. So these are the 5 major list of activities that we'll be discussing: cultivation, rotation, mulching, spraying, and transport. So first one, if you look at the working parameters remains the same for all of the 4 major activities. So time per acre in case of manual is very high, which is obvious, which is 18 hours per acre. In diesel, it is less, 3 hours per acre. In electric EZEBU, it is 6 hours per acre. But then again, the cost or the savings is the savings per utilization is higher. And the labor here in manual is, we have considered it as 6. In diesel and electric, it is 1. The labor cost in terms of diesel tractor is embedded in the rental charges. And for the electric EZEBU multipurpose toolbar, we have considered 1, that is the operator required is 1. So usually most of the end users that we have interacted with, they are operating it on their own. But if in case a labor is hired, what are the charges? I will show it in the forthcoming slides. And so these are the hours used per season calculation and hours used per annum. So like I said, seasons considered were 2. Based on that, the calculation has been done. So if you look at the expense per season, for electric, it is very less. But then again, with labor, it is a little more than what is presented on this slides, which we'll discuss it later. So cost per acre per year, definitely for electric easy-able tractor, multi-purpose toolbar, it is very minimal as compared to the diesel and manual. Yet again, it is very high. The same holds for rotation. So cost per acre. So rotation cannot be done manually. So the diesel and electric has been compared. Cost per acre in terms of electric is 137, and in terms of diesel it is 3000. It holds good for mulcher as well. Manual, diesel and electric comparison has been done, and cost per acre per year is again for electric it is very minimal. It is 68 rupees, and for diesel 1500. For manual it is 5000. So sprayer, we have considered maximum, it can be between 4 to 6 sprays depending on the crop. We have considered as rounds per season to be 6. And then again, the cost per acre per year would be higher for manual, wherein they use knapsack sprayers. And the labors here considered were 4. And in diesel and electric, we have considered just 1, where the cost per acre for diesel is 12,000 and for electric it is 340. So transport, most of the end users that we spoke to, they told us that they are saving a lot of money on the transport, be it with respect to their commute, or it can be also with respect to the transportation of the goods. So the load capacity, like even Rohit showed in one of his videos, you all could see a visual representation of the amount of load it carried. In terms of kgs, it is 600 per trip, and for diesel it is higher, that is 2000 kgs per trip, and for bike it's very minimal. But then if you look at the monthly expense in terms of diesel and the Izebu trolley, it is 1600 in terms of diesel tractor, and for electric multi-purpose toolbar it is just 25 rupees. So the annual expense is also minimal, which is 300. So this is the combined annual cost summary, wherein we have also included Izebu electric multi-purpose toolbar cost with the labor included. So a consideration here has been made that the labor charges is 300 per day in case of electric Izebu. So the expenses per annum in case of annual would be 6,19,000. In case of diesel, because the rental charges are very high, it is 2,45,000. And Izebu, if the operator is the farmer itself, then it is 7,000. If a labor has been hired, then it is 61,000. So if you look at the payback and the net returns, the total expenses, like I mentioned earlier, it's higher for manual, then comes the diesel, then the electric is able with labor and without labor. So expenses per acre per annum, in diesel it is 24,000, and with labor is able 6,000. So, and then the per season, that is 2 seasons that we have considered, is just the second row divided, each value has been divided by 2, and additional profits expected due to intervention. So if I'm switching from a rental basis of diesel tractor to an electric e-Zebu without the labor, and if I am the end user, then I'm saving per acre per annum, my savings would be 24,000, and with labor would be 18,000. So the payback period in both these cases without the labor is 1.7 years, and with labor is 2.3 years. So like I mentioned, the payback by farm size. So this is on-paper calculation that we have done for 1 acre, 3 acre, 5, 10, and 30, and then it goes on. For 1 acre, the payback period is very high, that is 17.1 years, and 3 acres, it is 5.7 years. A suggestion would be made that individual ownership may not be viable for farmers with 1 to 2 acre land holdings. So a group of 3 to 5 farmers can, what they can do is they can share the asset, pool in the capital, say for about if they have 10 acres of farm, wherein the payback period is drastically reduced to 1.7 years in case of 10 acres. And there are also end users who are having more than 50 acres. There is an end user who has 70 acres of farm, and he has procured 2 units of the multipurpose toolbar, wherein the combined capex in that case would be 8,30,000. So the payback period in that case would be 1.5 years, including the labor. So which is again a pretty good number in case of payback period, because the savings are pretty high when you compare it with a diesel tractor. And he said that the end user who had 70 acres of land, he said that because the time required here is a little higher when you compare it with the diesel tractor. That is the reason he has procured another unit of the same toolbar, because he's saying this was that one machine cannot give a efficient uh, coverage for his acres of land, and that is the reason he has procured two units. So this is the QR scanner code wherein you will find the detailed business model for the multipurpose toolbar, and you can edit it based on your business with respect to your land holding size. It can be number of labors, labor charges, and many other parameters.
Thank you. Thank you, Supriya, for your detailed business model analysis. And there are few questions. So I request Venkatrao sir. So can you please tell us how the process of certification in FMTTI you did that process of certification, and what are the challenges you faced and how you have overcome?
Sure,
It was a
sure.
question from attendees.
Okay. So they must be. See, the problem was that now it is much liberalized. Can you see me and hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. We
Yes.
can hear you.
Okay. So the problem here was, initially when we approached in 2021 and 22, that was a time where there was no one was ready to take up the testing procedure. Means there was no procedure defined for testing the toolbar. Okay, how to test it? What is the base? There is no standard. Nothing is available there. And then the actual real fight started. I was working for the Navy, so I understand how the standardization process goes and all that. So I happened to go to Delhi and sit there on their head. And then there is new equipment induction methodology is there. So we forced them. And then slowly, they also started adopting it. And now what happened is now almost all it is open. Now the DG, Director General Mechanization, ICR, and other people I keep meeting. Recently, I met the commissioner who is in charge for the entire testing process
So your
for entire
voice
India.
became bit low.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I met recently him also. So now they have liberalized almost all. Now what you have to do is you make your proper specification for the person who asked this question. You make a proper specification sheet, what actually your machine is supposed to do, is doing, and what is the purpose of that machine. Make a small 1 or 2 pages of write-up. Approach the any FMTTA. And the thing is that now for all the toolbars, earlier they gave us Hisar to get it tested, which is very, very far away from us. So we fought and again we got, because a lot of electrical equipment are being developed in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, and this region. So more advanced robotic activities are happening in this region. So we demanded that should happen in Anantapur also. Luckily, they've accepted. Now our vehicle, because of that, I lost another 6 months because I was not ready to get it tested at Hisar. So we forced them to start the test facility and they got it done. But there are other limitations like, still now they are not having their own battery test facility. They are not having their motor test facility. They are not having any electronic test facilities. So they have to augment it. It may take a lot of time. But we could convince them these tests, they should accept it from any other government lab. If they test and give the certificate for a motor, they'll accept it. That should be NABL and appropriate lab. So now all the parts we are getting it tested from the various other labs like an ARAI or any other government lab or which is NABL accredited lab, and we are giving that certificate. Based on that, integration test and all that is being carried out by FMTTN. So that is how the process is now. So it is much liberalized. Now you can approach any FMTTA with a small write-up. They will accept it and they will give you the quotations, etc. And thanks to SELCO also, they have helped us a lot. Well, when we were giving, we have to make 5 samples, get it tested. A lot of thing was there, and you have stood behind us and given us a lot of support. So that is the process. If anybody is having, you can give my personal number. I can guide them individually, personally, how to do this and how to draft their document also.
Yes, sir. And another question. And for which and all crops this toolbar is compatible, and especially the seeder which attachment is there, for which and all seeds it can be done. So one question is which and all
Yes.
crops the
So,
toolbar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, this is for any dryland agriculture where the row crops are done. Especially the vehicle width is around 36 inches. So like tur dal, cotton, they are all sowed in 4 feet, 5 feet. It is very comfortable. If any crop which is low, for corn and all that, if you are not going for intercultivation, only for seeding, you can use this purpose. And spraying also, if you want to use, then at least 4 feet above row crops, it is more suitable. Or chana or groundnut, where the growth of the plant is less than 1 feet. In that also it goes comfortably. So in those areas, and especially horticulture, it is going to do wonderful. Like any horticulture, vegetables, pandal crops. When you put a pandal crops kind of a thing, dragon fruit. Now our present vehicles, they are using, and now slowly we started customizing the models. Like an exclusive palm oil doesn't require a cultivator and all. They require a mulcher. So in that case, we are increasing the mulcher size to 4 feet, 5 feet, so the work can be done quickly. So, and what they need is only palm oil people need only one thing is one mulcher. Along with the mulcher, another problem like they will have as leaves and all which need to be shredded. So leaves shredding, again, they have to buy a shredder. In this case, by rotating the mulcher, same mulcher is used for shredding the leaves also. So that reduce the cost. So one is that. And all the pulses like moong dal, tur dal, and all these kind of dals you can use it. So multiple crops you can use this particular vehicle. Especially now we are working with the 4-wheel on Napier grass also, especially cut and collect. That also we are doing. Very well, we have developed another model for the SRT, which one can go from any crop which is up to 3 feet, and that is how. But this particular model is very suitable for the vegetables, horticulture, and row crops above 4 feet and above with the row gap. So for spraying, weeding, seeding. Another question what you asked is the seeders. These seeders are called dibble seeders, which come with a multiple plastic wheels beneath where you can change that. So from rye, as good as that rye, what you call that one, mustard seed. So from mustard seed to soya bean, you can do anything by changing the wheel. And gap adjustment is also, but each manufacturer is having its own methodology. So in this particular case, what we are trying to do is we are not trying to give the plastic push seeders. We are not supplying. We are supplying a frame which is commonly compatible for any push seeder. So you can buy that locally, so that if any part or spare is missing, immediately you can get it. Otherwise, your entire machine will be duff. So nowadays, in any district headquarters, you will be able to get the push seeders. Fortunately, all the push seeders will have the same mechanical gap. So there you can straight away bring that and fix it to our machine. Remove that handlebar which is there and straight away connect it. And which can be used from recently at Anantapur along with SELCO. We did millet sowing also with the same push seeder at a time 5 seeders. So you can use it from millet to anything you can do in this.
So, what is the feasibility of this toolbar in rice cultivation or pulses? There is a question, sir.
Yes, rice, it for the, we are not recommending it for the wetland agriculture at all. If somebody is using it for the dryland paddy, if they wanted to do dryland seeding, they can use it. If it is a small crop, dryland, you prepare the land and then straight away go for using the dibble seeder, you can go for a sowing. That is successfully done, either in the SRT beds or in the normal field. And if somebody is adopting a front lift, they can use it for harvesting, but not for as a combine. This purpose, the vehicle can be used, but it is not recommended much for the paddy. Means in a very wetlands, etc. It is recommended for a dry land paddy if somebody is doing with a lesser water, etc. In that area, it will work well. And pulses, especially moong dal, it can work. Tur dal anyhow, it will work. So all the grains, it can work. And for that, actually, we are coming up with the SRT model that is entirely zero till mechanism. There's a different case altogether, but you can use it for, somebody is trying to sow pulses in mango orchards in between as a rows. There it will be very much suitable for spraying, as well as somebody is buying a reaper, they can use it for the harvesting also.
And what different soil types it will work and terrain, sir?
So once it is a dry land, it has got nothing, because we are not much focusing on cultivation, means touching the soil. Most of the time we are recommending in orchards or anything, we are recommending it for the mulcher. So where you are not touching the soils. Once you are not touching the soil, any soil is the same. Okay, so that is one thing. Second, now we are going to conduct a particular trial in Maharashtra where black cotton soil, very, very heavy soils are there. There also we are going to experiment. I think SELCO is also going to be the part where we have got a challenge of, doing the fast seeding in a very vast area. So we are going to experiment that also. But any soil it will work, but we don't recommend. If it is rotavator part is recommended only for the light soils, the attachment of rotavator, because there you cannot do rotation in a black soil too much. You cannot do with this. If it is a red soil, if it is a lumi soil, and all other soils you can use. For black cotton soils, it may be difficult. You using it as a rotavator with a rotavator, spraying and all, that is no problem. You can use it.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So there are few leads, like few people are asking for the machine. There we have shared your Gmail mail ID also, and also
Okay.
solution portal link we have shared. They can contact through the solution portal and also reach out to you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for
Surely,
your
surely. Thank
valuable
you.
information.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think Supriya ji, Supriya is, I think I thought other Supriya ji, where we know
Okay.
initially we used to discuss. So I was only seeing the name. I think this Supriya I am meeting first time. Thank you. Thank you,
Yes.
Supriya.
Yes, sir. There
Thank
is
you.
one more question, sir. Is there any toolbar deployed in Vidarbha region of Maharashtra?
SRT toolbars are there.
Okay.
These
But
regular toolbars are not there. Maharashtra, we have got Latur, there is one toolbar, is there, regular toolbar. But Vidarbha, as of now, we have not deployed, but we are focusing more on SRT toolbar in the Maharashtra. But for orchards, anyhow, we are going to enter. As of now, we have not entered much. But a lot of inquiries we started getting. Very soon, we may be putting it around Pune. Some good inquiries. A lot of inquiries are being generated through Maharashtra. We have not done much of marketing there. There's a lot of people doesn't aware about it. But for SRT, we pushed it. A regular vehicle nearby Vidarbha means you can have somewhere Telangana borders. You can have not there. Vidarbha means no, it is not there. Vidarbha we are not.
yeah, sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your input. And thank you, Supriya. Thank you, Sridhar, sir, for your valuable insights and case studies and business model. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you. Bye.